The Paul Steffen Home has saved hundreds of women and babies since it began its Save Babies One Mom at a Time mission. To save the baby, we must save the mom, too. Please donate today. PaulSteffenHome.org. PaulSteffenHome.org.
Save over $200 when you book weekly stays with Vrbo. This winter, if you need to work, why not work from a chalet? If you haven't seen your college besties since, well, college, you need a week to fully catch up in a snowy cabin. And if you have to stay in a remote place with your in-laws, you should save over $200 a week. It's the least we can do. So, you might as well start digging out the long johns, because saving over $200 on a week-long snowcation rental is in the cards. Book now at Vrbo.com.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. True Vitality Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
True Vitality Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at True Vitality Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 703-637-1222. 703-637-1222. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 703-637-1222.
Patrice, you have a great Christmas. I don't think I'll see
too.
you, or I'll see you at least. Maybe we'll text each other, but enjoy it.
Well, Larry, you might see me next week.
Before Christmas? Oh, that's
yeah.
Good. I missed the schedule. All right, and I'll certainly talk to you on Boxing Yay. Up next, it's Plant. Christopher, what have you got to say for yourself?
I have very little to say for myself. President Trump keeping the world busy again yesterday, and of course we got the mad killer from Brown University and the MIT professor. There's a lot of unanswered questions. Is he, Larry? Is he an illegal alien? He's an immigrant from Portugal.
He was here on a DEI visa, I believe.
Yeah, I think he was on one of those DEI visas.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station.
Making sense of the news.
News Talk 105.9.
Wow.
News now. WMAL News at 9. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Matthews. If you are outside at all today, you'll have your choice of pretty much any weather you want, from the Arctic to the tropics. Just depends on the timing.
A lot of changes coming through the day. Had the umbrella this morning, had the windbreaker for later today. By lunchtime, we'll go on our wind alert. Firm grip on the steering wheel. Wind chills falling from the 30s there at 3 p.m. into the 20s by 6 o'clock. And I can't emphasize enough how strong these winds are. From noon until 7 p.m., wind gusts over 45 miles per hour. Probably not going to be too fun for the evening commute.
7 News meteorologist Eileen Whalen. Fairfax County police say a tip from the community led to the arrest of an illegal immigrant from El Salvador. Police say Marvin Morales Ortez fatally shot his roommate in their Reston home yesterday, a day after being released from jail.
Now, ICE tells us they had a detainer on him, yet he was still released from the Fairfax County Jail on Tuesday after prosecutors decided not to move forward with an assault and gun charge against him. The Fairfax County Sheriff's Office spokesperson says, quote, a judicial warrant that would be required to hold him past the ordered release was not on file.
7 News Tom Rousey. 2 people were struck by a car in a hit and run that was possibly a case of road rage in Arlington.
Police are looking for the suspect who left the scene. This happened just after 7:15 last night along North Glebe Road. Police say 2 drivers got into an argument, then one of them got out of their car. Now, some police say the driver hit the man he got into a fight with and another man who was just a bystander. The victims were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. No word on the description of the car or driver they're looking for.
7 News Adriana Hopkins. We could see some bad blood spill over today between the current and future gubernatorial administrations in Virginia, as UVA's Board of Visitors is said to be likely to vote to appoint the dean of its business school as the university's new president. Scott Beardsley has run the business school for the past decade, and he's emerged as the favorite after a months-long search. Governor-elect Abigail Spanberger, a UVA alum, had asked last month that the Youngkin administration delay naming a new president until she took office. Youngkin responded online at the time with a terse reminder that Spanberger's term will begin in mid-January. With AI already big and getting bigger, it's on Congress's radar for regulation in the coming year.
We've got to put some basic safety constraints around AI so we don't see what social media created in terms of mental health taken to an exponentially greater level.
Virginia Senator Mark Warner has fears on multiple levels, including
Looking to make sure that consumers don't get stuck with the power needs of these data centers that are part of the AI revolution.
Another is an almost 10% recent college grad unemployment number as AI seeps into the workforce at the entry level. Warner says he's already working with the AI community to address the worries together going forward. Scott Lynn on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Consumer spending is down across the D.C. metro, especially when it comes to tourism dollars.
This is a global region, and travel and tourism are important. Over 80% of the total consumer spending in this region is done by residents of the region.
Tracy Lowe with the Brookings Institute says some areas are taking a harder hit,
which is the District of Columbia and Montgomery County. There was a big drop in consumer spending from 2024 to 2025, something like $200 million.
Also down, she says, job growth in the private sector. Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
Checking your money, the Dow futures are down 9 points at this hour. NASDAQ futures are up 66. Up next, traffic and weather on WMAL.
Are you a parent of a child with disabilities who desperately needs a break? Then you need to know about Jill's House. To find out more, visit our website, jillshouse.org.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels, or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
Jamie Whitten in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
Chantilly, incident reported on inbound eastbound 50 before you get to 28 right near Lee Road. All lanes open in Dale City, long-standing crash gone. 95 northbound at the Prince William Parkway, just the residual delays. Heading toward BWI Airport, we're still slow in the Baltimore-Washington Parkway. The crash is northbound before the exit for BWI, delays before Route 100, left lane to 2 blocked. Beltway Bethesda, interloop slow between 270 and 355, crash to the shoulder. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
A line of gusty showers and maybe a rumble of thunder possible here for the morning commute as a cold front slides through. Temperatures will fall from around 60 this morning into the mid-40s this afternoon, and it will become very windy. A wind alert in effect from noon until 7 p.m. We're dry for the weekend, a little colder tomorrow in the mid-40s. I'm 7 News meteorologist Eileen Whalen in the First Alert Weather Center.
57 at Reagan National, John Matthews, News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
Do you think that you could beat J.D. Vance in the head-to-head race for president, as polling suggests, in 2028?
Listen, these polls, like 3 years out, are, they are what they are, but let the record show I will stop him. I will stop him.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Thank you, Congresswoman. More threats of violence, this time from that bartender from New York. What's her name again? Nobody even uses her name. What's her, Alex, that's her, AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. What was it, Michael? Stomp him? Oh, stomp him. He's a Marine. He'd kick you through the uprights. He'd kick a field goal with you. Go someplace and adjust your britches. Britches? Yeah, sure. Well, a very good and happy Friday to you all. We remain at 888-630-9625. If you have a storage locker in Salem, New Hampshire, who has a storage facility in Salem, New Hampshire? Probably nobody, that's who, but Psycho Boy, was he an illegal alien? Honestly, was he an illegal alien? He came in on a student visa 25 years ago. He stopped going to school 24 years ago. Been living in the United States ever since anyway, because I assume Democrats had a lot to do with it, because it's, they're not on our side. That's one of the things about them. Definitely not on our side at all. They're not good. Not good. So he came to the United States 25 years ago with a student visa. He quit school 24 years ago. And he's been, I guess, working with the Democrat Party ever since. Then he shot all those people at Brown University. And the story gets crazier and crazier. And law enforcement there, they've got nothing to be proud of. That's for sure. The guy's name is Claudio Manuel Neves Valente. He's got 4 names. He's got 4 of them right there, and he puts them all down just like that. Claudio Manuel Neves Valente, a 48-year-old person. He was a graduate student at Brown University, which is allegedly an Ivy League school. I don't know how they just tag it on. If John F. Kennedy Jr. goes there, then they say, okay, now it's an Ivy League school. Give us money. But this guy, Claudio Manuel Neves Valente, he was found dead, allegedly, according to all the reports, shot himself in the head. They say he shot himself, but they always shoot themselves in the head. Where else would you shoot yourself? Come on. And in a storage locker that he had rented with stuff in it, had some stuff in it, presumably, and he decided to blow himself up. Now, all kinds of reports. This was a textbook example of how things should not work in the United States of America from start to finish. And the police, they said, first of all, the police chief in Providence is an embarrassment. He was present for a press conference last night. He looked terrified the whole time. You couldn't understand him half the time because his English, not so good. She's not so good, that English of his. And he was an embarrassment to law enforcement and to whatever hellhole country he comes from and whatever language he speaks. And he speaks Spanish. And I'm sure he speaks Spanish perfectly fine, but I got to tell you, they're not sending their best. I'm sure some of them are nice people, but honestly, it was embarrassing last night watching the press conference from Providence, Rhode Island. Then the feds came in and they were much better. I've got to say much better. But the headline today is foreign national. Oh, yeah, he's Portuguese. Everybody know that? He's from Portugal. He came in from Portugal 25 years ago to attend an Ivy League school for work on his PhD, just like the Unabomber. Ted Kaczynski. He was a wannabe scholar, would-be scholar working on his PhD. And do you know in what, Michael, in what field? He was a radical environmentalist. He was the Unabomber, blowing people up with mail bombs, a terrorist and a Democrat, and the Unabomber, big-time Democrat, and a wild-eyed environmentalist. And now we've got a new Portuguese wild-eyed wannabe doctorate holder, right? Like Dr. Jill Biden. He must have envied Dr. Jill Biden. Foreign national suspected in Brown shooting. They mean Brown University. That's what they mean. MIT murder. The professor there in nuclear physics that was gunned down in his apartment building, apparently. Found dead in storage unit. That is the foreign national who allegedly shot all these people, was found dead in a storage unit, officials say. That's what the officials say. That's what they're telling you. Isn't that amazing? And Kristi Noem, this is actually kind of an important story. It is Kristi Noem, and I have the statement in front of me right here. It's Pretty great. Our Homeland Security Secretary, Kristi Noem, the former governor, announced, this is a big deal, said Noem announces a pause, that is putting a stop to immigrant visa lottery that allowed alleged Brown shooter to enter U.S. The Democrats, they come up with, they bring the jihadis in. What was the name of the jihadi at Columbia University again? I know I asked you yesterday. Yeah, Mahmoud Khalil. He got into one of these student visas and he lied about it all over the place. And the Democrats applauded that. And now, Kristi Noem, DHS, is announcing a pause on immigrant visa lottery. Got a lottery. It's, crazy. Speaking of which, that Powerball, the Powerball's big lottery, allowed the alleged Brown shooter to enter the U.S. This heinous individual should never have been allowed in our country, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem asserted. And that is kind of a big deal. What was he doing here? Should he have been here? Was he here illegally? There's a lot to talk about. And it turns out this university, whatever you do, don't send your kids to Brown University. You know why they finally found themselves, they were onto this guy, how they got onto this guy? They either illegal alien or should have been illegal alien from Portugal. They got onto him because he had been trolling around the campus at Brown University, where he had been a student working on a PhD, working toward a PhD more than 20 years ago. Apparently he had a negative experience and just crazy stuff. So he was wandering around the campus, going in and out of the building, where he eventually shot all those people, shot 11 people, killing 2, murdering 2, and injuring, wounding 9 more. And the reason he was found out is because a homeless man who lives on the campus in the basement of the building where the shootings happened, the homeless man went on Reddit. So he's got internet access. Yeah, maybe that Biden program really worked. Every homeless lunatic in the country has now got high-speed internet, and they're whipping stuff up on Reddit. But the homeless guy wrote, "Hey, check out this car," and he gave specifics on the car. And it turns out, and the police said, "Oh yeah, the homeless guy that lives in the basement of the building, a university building with classrooms where the shooting took place. The homeless guy living downstairs." He saw the crazy Portuguese gunman wandering around campus for days and days beforehand. And he wrote something up on it. Now, they have a police force at the university, and they have a police force in Providence, Rhode Island. But the police didn't have anything on them. The security cameras didn't have anything on them because, where the security cameras aren't there, don't work, and can't get a straight answer from this lady who's the president of Brown University, who makes $3.1 million a year for being very bad at her job. And maybe you should have noticed Claudio Manuel Neves Valente. And it's just crazy. The homeless guy who was also living, think about this Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island. They call it an Ivy League school. And there's, hey, this is a great building where the engineering people go to class. There's a homeless guy living in the basement. And by the way, here's another part of the story. The homeless guy living in the basement, he also was a student at Brown University previously. And now he's a homeless guy living in the basement of one of their buildings where they hold classes. So I guess an Ivy League education doesn't work for everyone. That seems abundantly clear at this point, since the psychopathic killer also was a student at the university, right? The guy from Portugal, he was a student at the university, at Brown University, at the very same university, apparently taking classes in the building where he shot all those people when he was a student there. And then he was found out by the homeless guy who lives in the basement of the building, who had also been a student at the Ivy League University. The Ivy League is not what it used to be. I'm becoming more and more proud of my Santa Barbara City College days. I tell you, man, oh, Manischewitz, just crazy. Foreign national suspected in Brown shooting, MIT murder, found dead in storage unit, officials say. Kristi Noem, DHS Secretary, orders diversity immigrant lottery pause. See, it's for diversity because America is not diversity enough. I like to say diversity enough because It just sounds funnier than diverse enough. I know but they said the United States is not diverse enough. So let's have diversity immigration lottery. Yeah, because we're not ethnically mixed enough. We've got people from every planet on Earth. We got people living just in Washington, D.C. who are from Ouagadougou. I don't know how much more diversity we need. Amazing. And Good Samaritan credited for domino effect in Brown investigation. Now, that's the Good Samaritan is the homeless guy who's living in the basement of a building, the building where the mass shooting took place. And he is a former Ivy League Brown University student himself, just as is the killer. So I think if your kids are going to school there now, pull them out, ask for a refund. We'd like a refund. And see if you can get those cameras to work. Give us our money back and get those cameras to work. And speaking of Democrats, this is a wild one too. You remember the lady judge in Wisconsin that assisted the illegal alien in the courthouse who was there because he's an illegal alien and he's a criminal, and he's in the courthouse, and the Democrat judge helped the illegal alien evade law enforcement and evade justice because the Democrats are pro-crime. More Democrats, more crime. More Democrats, more murder. More Democrats, more Venezuelan gangs. And but this judge in Wisconsin, she actually went on trial. Jury convicts judge who helped illegal immigrant dodge ICE agents in courthouse. Why would she do that, you might ask? Well, she's a Democrat, and the Democrats, I think, are all criminals, and they all want to do everything they can to harm the United States of America. And if you're a judge and a Democrat, well, then you've got more say in how much damage you can do to the United States of America and to Western civilization and civil society. They bring more crime, more gangs, more murder. They're not on our side. Milwaukee County judge found guilty of obstructing federal immigration agents in courthouse incident. Milwaukee Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan. Remember her? Hannah Dugan. That was her name then. That's her name now. Hannah Dugan was found guilty of helping a man, an illegal alien, avoid ICE agents at courthouse in April. But why? Pourquoi, as they say in France. A jury found Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan guilty of obstructing federal immigration agents during an attempt to serve a warrant at a courthouse earlier this year. You know, the Democrats, they want to pass all these laws that you can't enforce immigration laws in courthouses. You can't enforce them in police stations. You can't enforce them in schools. You can't enforce them in hospitals. And so the Democrats are just bit by bit, they're taking over every space in the country and saying, oh, God, no, you can't enforce the law here. You can't do that. This will be a lawless region because the Democrat Party is a lawless party going back to their love of slavery and the creation of the Klan and Jim Crow and shooting everybody that they've shot over the years. But isn't that amazing? So the judge, Hannah Dugan, faces up to 5 years in prison on the felony obstruction count. I bet she gets 5 days. But Dugan was arrested in April after helping Eduardo Flores Ruiz. A lot of I'm gonna get a Latino name, I think, with like 25 syllables and hyphens and things like that. But Dugan was arrested in April after having Eduardo Flores Ruiz avoid plainclothes immigration and customs enforcement agents who were trying to serve him a warrant. Why were they trying to serve him a warrant, you might wonder? Prosecutors said that Dugan helped Flores Ruiz and his attorney exit her courtroom through a back door. That's why they call her Backdoor Dugan. She's Backdoor Dugan. That's her name. On April 18th, after learning that ICE agents were in the building to arrest him. Wow, why would she do that? Well, the simple explanation is she's a Democrat. And she's another SMID, severely mentally ill Democrat. And she's a judge. No, she's a criminal. She's a judge. She's a criminal. She's a criminal. She's a judge. She's a Democrat judge. They're on the side of crime and criminals and illegal alien gang members and not law enforcement. That is the third world. That is the stuff of the end of Western civilization. And it's the Democrat Party.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Finally, better news heading toward BWI Airport. Long-standing crash gone. Northbound Baltimore Washington Parkway between Route 100 and the airport exit. Now, delays quickly clearing. In Wheaton, the southbound lanes of George Avenue still closed between University Boulevard and Reedy Drive for a water main break. The crash on the Beltway in Bethesda, interloop near 355, still slowing us before Old Georgetown Road. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Showers ending, turning breezy and colder with temperatures falling through the 40s this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear skies, low 27.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meter beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels, or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
Peace to the planet, Charlemagne the God here. Getting real about your mental health journey means connecting with real people. Call, text, or chat 988 if you're having tough thoughts, substance use issues, stress at home or at work. They can even talk to you through worries you're having about somebody you love. 988 counselors are ready to hear from you 24/7. No cost, no judgment, no stigma. It's also private. Asking for help is the strongest thing that you can do. Just connect with 988, a message from the New York State Office of Mental Health.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy Truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, the used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at widgetautosales.com.
Spectrum TV Fixed TV and combine all your favorite sports streaming apps with live TV.
32! It's only more Hail Marys!
It's only more bottom of the ninth magic.
It's only more slow motion replays.
It's only getting all the sports with over 100 hours worth of streaming apps like ESPN, Fox One, Tennis Channel, Peacock, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com.
It's the gaming event of the year, featuring T-Pain's Nappy Boy Grizzlies versus Neo's Gentleman's Gaming. It's a 4v4 matchup featuring Call of Duty, Tetris, Trackmania, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3+4, and Tekken 8. Season 0 of the Global Gaming League is live streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Head over to globalgamingleague.com.
You deserve expert, personalized OBGYN care that's close to home. BJC-affiliated OBGYNs and midwives offer exceptional care throughout the region in convenient locations. Feel comfortable and supported from your first women's wellness exam to pregnancy and childbirth to menopause and everything in between. Find an OBGYN or midwife with BJC. Learn more at bjc.org/OBGYN.
Holiday Wish Hotline, go. Make my Sunday football the ultimate experience. TCL's QM8K QD Mini LED is the real MVP. Ultimate brightness, ultimate black levels for the ultimate experience. Pictures so clear you can almost taste the turf. Don't overthink it. Lock in the ultimate experiences with epic savings and undeniable bragging rights all season long. Get it while supplies last. TCL, official TV partner of the NFL. Bigger, brighter, better holidays. Select models, limited time. See site for details.
Know the news the minute you wake up. O'Connor and Company with Larry O'Connor. 5 to 9 a.m. on WMAL.
Bum, 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 bum. All right, Michael, let's go to the telephones and talk to the great American people. Also, our Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, was chased out of a restaurant in Washington by savages from a third world hellhole called Washington, D.C. They're Democrats. There's audio of that because they always make video of everything. The mentally ill make video of their deeds. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to David, calling from Jamestown, Pennsylvania. David, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Well, Merry Christmas to you.
I thank you. Merry Christmas to you, David. Thank you very much.
I think there are far too many coincidences going on with this Brown and MIT thing. I think I smell a rat.
Tell me why. You're not alone, certainly, but tell me why.
Well, it's hard to put together sometimes, but just too coincidental. The two people that may have been Republican assets were gunned down by the same person, and all of a sudden, the shooter can't talk to us because he's dead.
Yeah, he will not be interrogated. He will not be put on trial. He will not be forced to answer for his deeds because he allegedly killed himself in a storage locker, kind of a Silence of the Lambs, Clarice Starling storage locker thing. And hey, here he is, and in New Hampshire, and he had that in a rent-a-car. There are a lot of peculiar elements to all of this, David, and unanswered questions, and the lack of order and security at the university, and allegedly Ivy League University, and the police work. I think the feds did great work once the FBI got in there, but the local police embarrassed themselves, and there are a lot of unanswered questions. And why is it, David, that this guy came in? He was a student at Brown University decades ago, and there are just so few details. We need more details. And the press conference, the Providence officials' press conference last night was an embarrassment to press conferences. And then the feds came in, and the woman, the federal woman, she came in, and she was smart. She held a pretty good press conference. But it was the Providence people, they were an embarrassment. They really were. GOP assets, I'm going to look at that.
This is the Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Well, we finally got rid of the long-standing crash, Baltimore-Washington Parkway before the airport exit, and those delays are gone. Unfortunately, replaced with a new one. This one is northbound, Baltimore-Washington Parkway at the Beltway, and it is jammed now in each direction. No change in Wheaton. Southbound Georgia Avenue remains closed and diverted for a water main break between University Boulevard and Reedy Drive. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Showers ending, turning breezy and colder with temperatures falling through the 40s this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear skies, low 27.
Peace to the planet, Charlamagne the God here. Getting real about your mental health journey means connecting with real people. Call, text, or chat 988 if you're having tough thoughts, substance use issues, stress at home or at work. They can even talk to you through worries you're having about somebody you love. 988 counselors are ready to hear from you 24/7. No cost, no judgment, no stigma. It's also private. Asking for help is the strongest thing that you can do. Just connect with 988, a message from the New York State Office of Mental Health.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, season, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels.
Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels, or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
Do you want free internet forever? Yeah, we thought so. That's why Spectrum is giving you just that. Free fiber-powered internet forever when you switch and get 4 mobile lines from Spectrum. No internet bills, no taxes, no late fees. Just fast fiber-powered internet. Call 833-901-0178 to find out how. But hurry, this deal won't last forever. Once more, 833-901-0178. Or visit spectrum.com/free-forever to learn more.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at widgetautosales.com.
It's the gaming event of the year, featuring T-Pain's Nappy Boy Grizzlies versus Neo's Gentleman's Gaming. It's a 4v4 matchup featuring Call of Duty, Tetris, Trackmania, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3+4, and Tekken 8. Season 0 of the Global Gaming League is live streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Head over to globalgamingleague.com.
CDC recommends that people age 65 and older and those with moderate or severe immunocompromise receive a second dose of COVID-19 vaccine 2 to 6 months after their last dose. Schedule at KinneyDrugs.com or walk into any Kinney pharmacy.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels, or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
WMAL, making sense of the forecast, because you never know what Mother Nature has in store. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Hey, we're back. Wait. I was talking to David. I'm sorry, David, the clock ran out on you there. David saying he smells a rat. Brown University, MIT murders. Said too many coincidences, too coincidental. And it's true, the young woman who was shot and killed in the classroom at Brown University was the vice president of Brown University's Republican Club on campus. And I just did a quick look for the MIT professor who was gunned down apparently in the hallway of his apartment building. First report said he was in his apartment. Somebody kicked the door in, went into his apartment and gunned him down. But then the later reports say he was gunned down in the hallway outside of his apartment and murdered there. The murderer apparently also went to college with the MIT professor years and years ago in Portugal. And the professor that was murdered, who goes by Nuno Loureiro, Loureiro, Loureiro. And And he's a professor, was before he was murdered by this Portuguese lunatic, professor at Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And he lived in Brookline, Mass, where he was gunned down. He was 47 years old, shot multiple times. December 15th, Monday, December 15th. And he died the following day. He actually survived the gunshots, was taken to the hospital and died in the hospital later. A renowned physicist, a fusion scientist, director of MIT's Plasma Science and Fusion Center. That sounds like a pretty serious job, doesn't it? Definitely does at MIT. Big thing. And the police identified Claudio Manuel Neves Valente, 48 years old, as the suspect. And the professor, 47 years old. Lots of bizarre coincidences here that they were at the same university in Portugal at the same time. Did they know each other? Did the killer resent this professor who did go on to get his PhD and become a renowned fusion scientist at MIT? Was it about envy? Did they have some conflict when they were going to the same school at the same time in Portugal? Hard to say. But the internet got going, and that's because I went looking based on what David said, and the internet got going. It's actually the AI, the artificial intelligence response, when I Googled some terms, said there is no evidence in official reports or credible news sources indicating that Professor Loyero was killed by a, quote, Republican club, end quote. See, the Democrats, they start lies online on Al Gore's amazing internet because it's the only thing they know how to do. If you ask a Democratic question, he'll probably lie to you. And I don't want to be sexist. She'll probably lie to you, too. Oh, in fact, that lunatic at the restaurant in Adams Morgan harassing the Treasury Secretary, I want to get to that because they're all mentally ill. They really are. And they started lies online. Oh, a Republican club killed the professor. No, another filthy Democrat, probable illegal alien coming in on a student visa and filled with resentment and a huge belly. He's filled with food, too, but no evidence that a Republican club killed him or the crime had any specific partisan political motivation. Little early for that, I'd say. While social media and comment sections say hosted various unverified theories ranging from corporate sabotage to political hits. Investigators have not established such a motive. Yeah, no, I remember just days ago, the FBI was telling us there is no reason to believe there was any link between the MIT professor being killed and the mass shooting at Brown University, two Ivy League institutions not too far from one another. And I do have to say, my friend Marty texted me the moment the news of the MIT professor broke. My friend Marty, a smart guy, shot me a news item on it and said, I got to think this is connected to the Brown University shooting. And it turns out Marty was right again. The same gunman and two different locations, two different universities involved and all of that. But then the Democrats say, oh, the Republicans did it because they're mentally ill. Apparently all of them. SMIDs, severely mentally ill Democrats. And we could extend that acronym, I think, by adding to severely mentally ill Democrats. But we'll work on that. So isn't that great? Now, law enforcement noted press conference yesterday that both the professor from MIT, Loyero, and Valente, the murderer, were Portuguese nationals, both Portuguese nationals, who attended the same school in Portugal. They attended the same school in Portugal, suggesting a potential personal or past connection. You think? You guys, nothing gets by you, huh? Though the investigation into the exact motive is ongoing. Well, clearly it was the Republican club. First of all, MIT, there's probably a Republican club. But the Democrats, they do the usual mental illness thing and say, the Republicans did it. And then not enough of them, but then some of them self-immolate, certain amount of self-immolation. Because, they're, man, oh man. All right, let's, and then I do want to get to our Treasury Secretary being harassed. The Democrats do a lot of this, harassing Republicans at restaurants and things. They want civil war, I think, is what the violent, criminal, mentally ill Democrat Party is aspiring to. They created the first American Civil War in the 1860s because they loved slavery so much. It's really what the said states' rights. Yeah, the states' rights to keep slaves was really the primary issue. But I'll get to those audio sound bites shortly. In the meantime, let's go back to the telephones, Mike. Let's go to David calling from kind of nearby Cape Cod, Mass. Beautiful Cape Cod. David, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Good morning, Chris. Thank you so much for taking my call. I love your show.
Thank you.
I just, I've been following this whole Brown thing, and as, kind of local, and we have a few friends that went there.
Uh-huh.
And I keep seeing this $3 million Sergeant Schultz lady out there going, I didn't know the cameras were turned off.
Right.
And I was looking for the forward, future-looking, as you would say, follow-up question.
Right. Yeah.
Do you know if they're turned on now?
Right. Right. And did you know there was?
If they're turned on now?
Did you know if there was a homeless man living in the basement of the building where the shooting took place?
He only had a couple of things plugged into an extension cord. It was no risk of a fire.
I gotta tell you, this university is an embarrassment. And not just to Ivy League universities, David, but to any organization, any university with buildings and electricity. It's nuts. And
they defy logic, science, any kind of STEM project they're presenting is all delusional.
It's always the case, isn't it?
It's all around.
Smids all around. That's exactly right. Severely mentally ill Democrats are everywhere. And obviously, this is a respected institution. I'm more and more. I don't understand. Say again.
Used to be.
Yeah, used to be. Right. Honestly, I think that I think that their reputation is in tatters now, isn't it?
Well, here's the thing. I went to Tiny Babson College in Wellesley, Massachusetts.
Uh-huh.
And we're now considered in that category as Princeton's Babson number 2.
No kidding. So,
look it up.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
It's great.
It's great.
You're taking my call now for the second time. I appreciate it so much. Thanks so much. You're so funny. I love your show. I can't stand it when you're not on the air.
Well, you're very generous. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's great. Yeah.
By the way, that guy Jason.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel! How you tolerate him without flying off the handle is just absurd.
It's a daily test. It's a daily test. There's no doubt about it.
And Daniel Lippman, he should read Mark Levin's book and go over the New York Times and how incredible they are, because he is completely uninformed too.
Well,
that's my thing.
These are what David is talking about is my television show on the Newsmax channel, and we have a liberal on pretty much every day who's a professor at the University of Maryland, and Jason.
He knows nothing.
Well, it's not. He always reminds me of the old Ronald Reagan line, David, and that is that.
I know. Yes. Can I quote you?
Please.
Me there.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
It's not that they don't know anything. It's just that everything they know is wrong.
That's right. Yeah, Ronald Reagan. It's not that Democrats don't know anything. It's just that so much of what they know is wrong, and that's exactly right. Yeah, isn't that great? And Ronald Reagan was right again. And Jason Nichols, college professor, and then Daniel Lippman, who's a perfectly nice guy. I like Daniel Lippman and talking to him, but he's a Washington reporter, and all that implies, right?
Well, one more thing about Jason.
Uh-huh.
He must say, when he comes up with an answer, you know. And people that say that, they don't know. So he's so pathetic. When you said the other day, you didn't want him on either, because he just creates chaos. He's the Alan Combs of our time.
Hannity and Combs, Alan Combs. Yeah, I actually debated Alan Combs a couple of times way back when on the Fox News channel.
I think you crushed him.
Well, I did, and he became furious because I called it the Democrat Party, and he just fuming. It's not the Democrat Party; it's the Democratic Party. And I'm like, no, it's not.
No, they're not.
Since they're not Democratic, I've decided to strip them of that honorary title. Isn't that amazing? That's boy, you pay attention, David. You've been paying attention for a long time. That's great stuff. I think I'm gonna have to cut this clip out of the radio show and share it with the people at Newsmax so they can listen to your call. Would that be okay?
Just don't call me Loretta.
All right, it's a deal. We got a deal. Just don't call me Loretta. See, let's see. He's whipping out Monty Python. He's doing all kinds of stuff here. David, that's great. Is it? It's a dark and stormy day on Cape Cod today, isn't it?
It certainly is. We had some snow, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you, and I'll continue to listen in the background.
That is wonderful.
Thanks for taking my call.
David, thanks. That's great.
You're
Sorry, what's that?
You're the best.
Well, thank you very kindly. That's why I had to go back for that, because my ego needs to be. That's great, David. Thank you very much. Yeah, and the woman at Brown University, and again, this is the university where John F. Kennedy went to, Jr., not the senior, not the president, but the son of the president. He went to Brown University, and that was before he crashed his plane into the ocean near Martha's Vineyard. I had a day involving that episode too at the Pentagon, but that's not important. We won't get to that right now. Yeah, but the Brown University president, which which David just referenced, she is an absolute embarrassment. She's been an embarrassment since the moment she appeared at a podium up there, and she doesn't know anything. Cameras? What cameras? A homeless man in the basement? What homeless man in the basement? Former PhD candidate at Brown University shot everybody up? What? The young woman that was shot and killed was the vice president of the campus Republican Club. What? We have a campus Republican Club? This woman knows absolutely nothing. We played a soundbite of her earlier two of her earlier this week, but we maybe should have played more. There's just too much news, too many Democrats on the loose doing too much crazy stuff. But this lady is she's really a piece of work. She genuinely is. The whole operation at Brown University is an embarrassment. And it was my best girl. My best girl always had a crush on John F. Kennedy Jr., as did, I think, a lot of women. And I think I've told a couple stories about this before. We encountered John F. Kennedy Jr. a couple of times, and my best girl was, it would be fair to say, was smitten with John F. Kennedy Jr., saluting Daddy in front of St. Matthew's Cathedral in Washington on the day of his funeral. And then he grew up to do more things. He eventually passed the bar exam, I think, didn't he? He eventually passed the bar exam. But I've got stories about that. But he went to college there, and Brown University, hey, it's an Ivy League school. Why didn't he go to Harvard? He's got his family name all over half the buildings there, John F. Kennedy. I was at home yesterday for a brief period of time with my best girl, and I was talking about Brown University, and it's, boy, they're looking like a joke now. And she said, it's where John went to college. And I didn't know that. How would I know that? I didn't know that. And I said, really, is that? And I knew that she would know that, because certainly she would know that. And sure enough, that's where he went to school. Now, they're an embarrassment to higher education, depending on how you define higher education, I guess. But isn't that remarkable? All right, I've got a lot to share with you today. It's Friday. I have only 2 hours and 11 minutes to go, and I'm going to try to get to as much as I can. The Treasury Secretary being harassed out of a restaurant in Washington, D.C. by mentally ill Democrats, by SMIDs. That's coming up.
You're listening to The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Late crash on the Beltway in Annandale happened on the outer loop between Braddock Road and the exit for Springfield. Left lane of the main lines and the right lane of the express lanes. Now, with the response there, it looks like just the shoulder of the express lanes will be getting by. So please use caution. 395, we are just about cleared out between the Beltway and the 14th Street Bridge. No change in Wheaton. Southbound Georgia Avenue remains closed and diverted between University Boulevard and Reedy Drive for water main repairs. Now, from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Showers and day turning breezy and colder with temperatures falling through the 40s this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear skies, low 27.
Peace to the planet, Charlamagne the God here. Getting real about your mental health journey means connecting with real people. Call, text, or chat 988 if you're having tough thoughts, substance use issues, stress at home or at work. They can even talk to you through worries you're having about somebody you love. 988 counselors are ready to hear from you 24/7. No cost, no judgment, no stigma. It's also private. Asking for help is the strongest thing that you can do. Just connect with 988, a message from the New York State Office of Mental Health.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
Spectrum TV Fixed TV and combine all your favorite sports streaming apps with live TV.
32, Blue 32. It's only more Hail Marys.
It's only more bottom of the ninth magic.
It's only more slow motion replays.
It's only getting all the sports with over 100 hours worth of streaming apps like ESPN, Fox 1, Tennis Channel, Peacock, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com.
CDC recommends that people age 65 and older and those with moderate or severe immunocompromise receive a second dose of COVID-19 vaccine 2 to 6 months after their last dose. Schedule at KinneyDrugs.com or walk into any Kinney pharmacy.
Does anyone feel like life is busier than ever, especially with the holidays? I'm a planner and try to think of it all. But what about the unexpected? Now I've got that covered. My husband and I finally got life insurance with SelectQuote, and I couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. This holiday season, I feel a little lighter, knowing my family is protected and ready for whatever the new year throws our way.
Go to SelectQuote.com for your free quote. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com.
Details on sample rate at SelectQuote.com.
Heavy industry has some heavy-duty challenges, like reducing carbon emissions. That's where we come in. ExxonMobil is working to help industries across the globe lower emissions. We're also investing in technology to reduce carbon emissions in our own operations. It's one way we're making a hard day's work feel a little easier. Discover what our low-carbon solutions can do for your business. ExxonMobil. Let's deliver.
Peace to the planet, Charlamagne the God here. Getting real about your mental health journey means connecting with real people. Call, text, or chat 988 if you're having tough thoughts, substance use issues, stress at home or at work. They can even talk to you through worries you're having about somebody you love. 988 counselors are ready to hear from you 24/7. No cost, no judgment, no stigma. It's also private. Asking for help is the strongest thing that you can do. Just connect with 988, a message from the New York State Office of Mental Health.
WMAL, making sense of the roads, because traffic doesn't always follow the pattern. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Well, David and I were just talking, and we were saying about the president, this woman who's the president of Brown University, an Ivy League institution. Her name is allegedly Christine Paxson, Paxson. I don't know if I've ever seen that anyplace before. Paxson, Paxson. Her total compensation package exceeded $3.1 million in 2023. Report showing the figure 3.177.590. So $3,177,590 as her salary. She has already volunteered to take a 10% pay cut for 2026 because the university is crying poor mouth. They only have a $7.5 billion endowment. And this is such a racket. As the university, especially these, Northeastern Ivy League institutions, they're the best of the best. Yeah. Ask the homeless guy living underneath the psycho killer in the engineering building. You're all mental cases. Smidley, severely mentally ill Democrats. How good is that? David used SMID. That's great. Let's go back to the telephones, Michael. Let's go to Heck, calling from Bethesda, Maryland. Heck, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Chris, this is the quickest I ever got on the line there. Okay, so when
Merry
she
Christmas.
was asked about Malagayam Pasco to all our Filipino listeners, so when she was asked about that camera, she slinked away from that podium like Bill Murray at the end of Caddyshack. All she needed was that little hat to pull down over her head as she shuffled off out of view.
After the priest was struck by lightning on the golf course at the end of Caddyshack.
No, I'm talking about at the very end when he blew everything all up.
Ah, yes, okay, yeah, that's right. All right, yeah, but separate thing with the priest being struck by lightning and killed on having the game of his life, the best round of his life. But I got it. Yeah, you're right, and she's a $3 million plus a year academic at an Ivy League institution. And from what I could see, Heck, she couldn't put together a sentence. She couldn't put together a thought. In fact, if you were watching last night, the press conference out of Providence, she got one question that was a good question from a reporter, and she babbled for a minute and then turned and marched out of the room. And nobody said anything. Nobody said, "Hey, lady, where are you going? You're in the middle of a press conference. You make $3.1 million."
She had to feed the parking meter.
I got it was quite peculiar. I said to my best girl, "Did you see that?" She said, "What?" And I did a little quick rewind, 20-second rewind. So watch this. She scoffs at the question, doesn't answer the question, which was a good journalist question, and then she just turned and marched out of the room, and nobody said anything.
Well, she should have just responded that she was raised in a middle-class neighborhood where people took care of her on, and that would have handled everything.
Honestly, but what was that? Who was that now? Was that?
That was Kamala for any.
Yeah, Kamala. Yeah, Kamala. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Kamala. Yeah, they're all just so full of bourgeois, aren't they? Heck, just extraordinary. It's the Democrat Party in 2025, and everything they've taken over, every institution they've taken over, is a disaster. They're good at that.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 10. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Matthews. New details emerging about how police were able to track down the suspect in the Brown University shooting.
Police credit an anonymous tipster who called into the tip line on Tuesday saying, frankly, that he had seen the shooter in the area just a couple hours before the shooting. That tipster also wrote on Reddit a description of a vehicle, a gray Nissan with Florida plates just a couple blocks away from the engineering and physics building here on Brown University. His name is John, a homeless man and former Brown University student who 2 hours before the shooting locked eyes with the gunman in the bathroom in the basement area across from the classroom where the shooting took place.
Fox News' Brian Yanis, the suspect was found dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound in a storage locker in New Hampshire. Congress has left D.C. for the holidays without taking action on health care, though both sides of the aisle expect to deal with it in January.
This week, before the holiday break, House Republicans passed a health care bill they say will lower costs across the board, but it did not extend the Obamacare subsidies for more than 20 million Americans as they lapse at the end of this year. 4 Republicans then broke ranks and signed on to a discharge petition with Democrats that would extend subsidies, but Speaker Johnson did not bring that to the floor. He did say it's inevitable that this discharge petition will come up when lawmakers return in January. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
An argument between two drivers in Arlington last evening blew up into a hit and run.
Arlington police are still looking for that hit and run suspect. Just after 7:15, officers were called to North Glebe Road, just down the street from the MedStar Urgent Care. Investigators say two drivers got into an argument, then one of them got out of their car. That's when police say the driver hit the man he got into a fight with and another man who seemed to be just an innocent bystander. The victims were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
7 News' Jasmine Stiles. A Maryland man who worked as a supervisor at Voice of America has pleaded guilty to making death threats against Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, her family, and staff in ominous voice messages. Court records indicate Seth Jason admitted to leaving voicemail messages at Greene's district office in Georgia, including one that threatened to shoot her between the eyes with an AK-47 rifle at one of her rallies. The string of calls stretched from October of 2023 to January of this year. The calls made from Jason's office at the Voice of America, where he worked for more than 2 decades before retiring back in May. He'll be sentenced in June. New this hour, Montgomery County Sherwood High School is closed. It'll remain closed through the weekend after a second-floor sprinkler failed overnight and caused significant flooding inside the building, acting as a high-pressure hose. It impacted at least a dozen classrooms on the first floor. Officials decided to close the building entirely so work crews could have full access and make repairs as quickly as possible. MCPS is hoping this will allow them to reopen the school in Sandy Spring by Monday. Checking your money. The Dow is up 277 points. The Nasdaq's up 250. Up next, traffic and weather on WMAL.
Looking to earn passive income? Well, now's the perfect time to rent out your property. With high demand and rising rental rates, you can profit greatly. You know who can make this easy for you? Renters Warehouse DC Nova, because they do all the work for you. Renters Warehouse specializes in hassle-free property management for rentals, and they're local experts in housing laws across Northern Virginia and Washington, D.C. to keep your rental compliant, protected, and profitable. From finding you the right tenant, rent collection, handling maintenance work, or any late-night phone calls, Renters Warehouse does it all. You just collect the checks. If you have a home or portfolio of homes to rent, or if you've inherited a home, or you're a military family on the move, find out how much your property will rent for with a free rental analysis from Renters Warehouse DC Nova. Call 571-517-1525, 571-517-1525, or visit rwdcnova.com, rwdcnova.com.
This ad is brought to you by GSK. Have you considered starting Ojara momelotinib for your appropriate patients? Review the efficacy of Ojara, including data from our head-to-head trials, Simplify 1 and Momentum, at startojara.com. That's startojara.com.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels, or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
WMAL traffic and weather. Steve Hirshhorn in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
On the inner loop of the Beltway in Virginia, very heavy and slow up from Springfield to the accident that is before Braddock Road. In the main lanes, 2 left lanes are closed. In the express lanes, it's only the left shoulder getting by. Again, very heavy and slow up from Springfield to just before Braddock Road. Outer loop of the Beltway near Connecticut Avenue is a broken down vehicle in the roadway, very heavy and slow there from New Hampshire Avenue. Baltimore-Washington Parkway northbound, right at the Beltway. It was an accident causing a delay up from Route 410. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Temperatures will fall from around 60 this morning into the mid-40s this afternoon, and it will become very windy. A wind alert in effect from noon until 7 p.m. We're dry for the weekend, a little colder tomorrow in the mid-40s. I'm 7 News meteorologist Eileen Whalen in the First Alert Weather Center.
54 degrees at Reagan National. John Matthews, News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
It was because of the information provided to us by neighbors and the tireless work of our Providence Police Department, the Rhode Island State Police, the FBI, the ATF, and many other federal partners. And I will say on behalf of the people of Providence, we owe every member of the Providence Police Department the deepest debt of gratitude.
Yes, the extremely, horribly, terribly Democrat mayor of Providence, Rhode Island. His name is Brett Smiley. He hasn't been very smiley for the last week or so, though, has he? No, he hasn't. Well, welcome back once again on this great American Friday. Christmas week is nearly upon us. A Merry Christmas to everyone. A Happy Hanukkah to our Jewish friends and listeners. I've told you when I moved to Santa Barbara, California from Chicago, Illinois, I was settling in my first year there, and the local ABC station there, local ABC television station there, they put up a slide of like a cartoon, like a kid's cartoon of a menorah, with the candelabra, the religious candelabra, and they said, and written on the bottom, it said, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Hanukkah. And Hanukkah was spelled CH, like Chanukah. And the voice said the staff and management at KEYT Television want to wish all of our Jewish viewers a happy Chanukah. A happy Chanukah. And that was a knee slapper. That was a good one. I said, well, I guess I'm in California now, huh? I thought they had Jews here. What's up with that? They're wacky. We've got all kinds of wild news stories for you. In fact, since I just mentioned that, I'll share this story with you out of New York City, where the Democrats have voted into office a virulently anti-Semitic, genocidal, Jew-hating jihadi named Mahmoud. So he's not Mahmoud, he's Zoran. There's a different Mahmoud earlier today. It's Zoran Mamdani. Don't mess with the Zoran. And here's the headline from the left-wing Mediaite. New Mamdani appointee. He's the incoming mayor of our most populous city, one of the most important cities in the world. And he's an anti-Semite. He's an anti-American. He's anti-capitalist. He's a communist, and he's a jihadi. And the Democrats said, oh, yeah, I'll vote for him. Maybe I'll be murdered and my suffering will be over. Somebody will throw me in front of a subway train, a New York City subway train. But here's the headline. New Mamdani appointee resigns after 1 day. Resigns after 1 day. Why would the new appointee resign after 1 day? As her old anti-Semitic posts are resurfaced. Wait a minute. He hired a Jew-hating anti-Semite genocidal lunatic like a Nazi? Yeah, sure, you betcha. New York City Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani, newly appointed Director of Appointments. He appointed a Director of Appointments. Hey, I'm the Director of Appointments. I've just been appointed the Director of Appointments. Her name is Catherine Almonte da Costa. She's got a lot of syllables in there, doesn't she? Catherine Almonte da Costa resigned after 1 day on the job on Thursday, that's yesterday, following a report on past anti-Semitic social media posts. Sure. Quote, as the mother of Jewish children, I feel a profound sense of sadness and remorse at the harm these words have caused. Da Costa said in a statement, she hates the Jews, and she says she's got Jewish children. Where'd she get Jewish children? Normally, for a woman to have Jewish children, she'd have to be Jewish herself. And she might be a self-loathing Democrat Jew or something like that. And she said, as this has become a distraction, they love that word distraction, don't they? As this has become a distraction from the work at hand, which is to kill all the Jews, get them out of New York City, I have offered my resignation. Independent journalist Timmy Facciola uncovered the posts and published some of the most inflammatory ones on his Substack account. He wrote, new, colon, oh, they all love their colons. Zoran Mamdani's director of appointments, Catherine Almonte da Costa, has an archive full of anti-Semitic posts. Far Rockaway train is the Jew train, she wrote in 2012. After I reached out to Mamdani's transition team for comment, she deleted her X accounts. And isn't that great? Facciola wrote on X, but not before screenshotting DaCosta's many anti-Semitic posts. Isn't that great? So you got Far Rockaway train. Far Rockaway train is Jew train, she wrote. Isn't that wonderful? Money-hungry Jews, SMH. Zoran Mamdani's director of appointments has an archive full of anti-Semitic posts. And, he knew that when he picked her. Don't kid yourself. They know how to pick them, don't they? Isn't that great? Some of the tropes DaCosta pushed include writing, money-hungry, what is SMH? Shaking my head. Why don't you just write shaking my head? Everything has to be an abbreviation. Money-hungry Jews, shaking my head. Woo! Promoted to the upstairs office today. Sure, there we go. Working alongside these rich Jewish peeps. And, of course, the Far Rockaway train is a Jew train. DaCosta said, now, 34 and a member of the Democratic Socialists of America. The commies, they killed all the Jews they could kill. In my building, I've got neighbors, great neighbors, who escaped the Soviet Union. They're Jewish, a couple. He was a professor. She was a ballet star. And they're Jewish. And they escaped the Soviet Union, where they had killed millions of Jews, and millions of Ukrainians. And they kill millions of people. That's what they call themselves socialists, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics and all that stuff. But isn't it great? Yeah, she's 34 years old now, Democratic Socialist of America. And now, honestly, who else is a member of the Democratic Socialists of America? Every Democrat in the country, they're all over the Bernie Sanders, and I think AOC isn't she? And in Minnesota, they got another problem altogether. But so Zoran Mamdani allegedly lost his director of Jew-hating appointments or something like that. But that's who they are. That's how they are.
Have you spoken with him since he's been in the White House? You ain't gonna let him talk to me.
The Right Reverend Jeremiah Wright from the Trinity United Church of Christ in Chicago, Barack Obama's spiritual guidepost. The Jews ain't going to let Barack talk with me because the Jews, the Democrat Party, they should be wearing armbands. They should be goose-stepping. They should all wear brown shirts, except the women, they should wear brown tops. Because they wear tops. Not so much shirts, tops. It could be a top of any kind, long as it's brown. You guys, out of Chicago, Illinois. Here it is, Channel 7 Eyewitness News. The Democrats, they love self-immolation. They self-immolate. One self-immolated and killed himself outside of the Donald Trump trial in New York while it was ongoing. Remember that? In front of all the cameras. And they didn't know what to do. The media didn't know what to do. And the guy set himself on fire and killed himself in front of the Donald Trump trial. It's because he had a very severe case of Trump derangement syndrome. We had a Democrat self-immolate, actually blow himself up inside of a Tesla truck. What are those things called? The Cybertruck, the Tesla Cybertruck. Set himself on fire, blew himself up with nail bombs inside in front of the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. We had the self-immolation of the Trump trial in New York. Self-immolation he killed himself in front of the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. We had a Democrat member of the United States Air Force self-immolate at the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C. and kill himself. We played the audio for you on that. Really, the video is better, but I'm on radio, so I use the audio. What can I do? And a Democrat woman self-immolated at the Jewish consulate, the Israeli consulate in Atlanta. I didn't even know we had an Israeli consulate in Atlanta until a Democrat self-immolated there. That's a sure sign. There have been 8 or 9 Democrat self-immolations in the last couple of years. Oh, the guy at the Supreme Court, the Democrat self-immolated on Earth Day at the Supreme Court because he was protesting people putting smoke into the air. Not being very intelligent, he drenched himself in gasoline, set himself on fire, and then he became smoke in the air. I said, sir, isn't this what you objected to? I mean, God, if I were there, I would have tried to straighten him out on this. So, but that's, you have no sense of irony, sir, no sense of irony. But here's the headline from ABC7 Eyewitness News in Chicago, Illinois. Person sets himself on fire near CTA, that's the Chicago Transit Authority. They're the elevated trains and so on, and subway trains. Person sets himself on fire near CTA Blue Line stop. It's not even at the stop. He's too lazy to go to the stop. But there we go. We got another Democrat setting himself on fire. A person set himself on fire near the CTA train stop, the city's northwest side. The Chicago Fire Department confirmed on Friday morning. You know, you don't want to have to hear from the fire department about your son. Hey, were you able to put him out? The Democrats, they're really unwell. So the fire department confirmed. Chicago Fire Department said it happened in or near the CTA Blue Line's Damon Avenue stop and in the city's Wicker Park neighborhood. Very nice, very lovely. And went there to set himself on fire because the Democrat Party did this to him. Make no mistake, the Democrat Party did this to him. The man who was taken to Stroger Hospital in critical condition, as you might imagine, the Chicago Fire Department said. His age was not immediately known. It's hard to tell, when you're a crispy critter. Hey, how old do you think he was? I'm, I don't know, old as Mount Vesuvius, I guess. Chicago Fire Department did not immediately say whether anyone else was injured. The CTA said Blue Line service is running with delays. See, this is the important part, is that in Chicago, and this is why I want to let you know, because we're on the air right now in Chicago on WLS, on the great WLS, and I just want to let everybody know that there are delays on the Blue Line because the Democrats self-immolated today. This is, I think for the Democrats, this is part of the Christmas season. They're getting into the Christmas spirit, aren't they? A little bit of self-immolation goes a long way. So the CTA said Blue Line service is running with delays due to Chicago Fire Department activity at the Damon stop. That seems explicable. I can accept that. The CTA instructed riders to board all trains on the O'Hare-bound side between Western and Damon stations, right? Headed to O'Hare Airport, which is named for Butch O'Hare, who was a Navy fighter pilot in World War II, Medal of Honor recipient, and that's great. Trains in both directions are running on the same track. Single tracking. Between those stops, the CTA said. See, I'm just doing the public service thing here to let you know in Chicago about the delays on the Blue Line on the CTA. Officials did not immediately provide further information. I would like further information. Did he yell anything? Was he wearing, a T-shirt of note of any kind? Speaking of which, that nice lady, the grandmotherly lady at the Target store, working at the Target store, stocking the shelves. And then the Democrat crazy lady came up and cursed her out for wearing a Charlie Kirk T-shirt. And I want to get an update on how much money has been raised, because by the time we left yesterday, it was more than $211,000 being raised for the nice lady, because the crazy woman, they are just, boy, are they unwell. The Democrat Party, what happened to them? Something terribly, terribly wrong. Yes, sir. Also, did you see the man in Australia, the Muslim man? What's his name? Maktub or something. Maktub El Maktub, something like that. And he rushed one of the gunmen and tackled him to the ground and pulled his gun away. Now that guy then escaped because the Good Samaritan didn't shoot him and kill him as he should have if he wanted to be a really good Samaritan. It's easy to be a good Samaritan, but to be a really good Samaritan, that sometimes goes above and beyond. But he has had, more than $2.1 million raised for him so far. And that's great. Now, he should have shot the SOB, because that guy went and kept shooting people, got another gun, which they had there, and kept shooting people until the police came and shot him. And the Democrats want to defund the police. Honestly, It is membership in the Democrat Party is a mental illness. SMIDs, severely mentally ill Democrats. Did you know that the all-new third-generation Eden Pure Thunderstorm air purifier is finally available to all of us, and it builds on the incredible success of the previous generations, which had already earned thousands of five-star reviews on Al Gore's amazing internet. This new Thunderstorm uses two technologies that studies have shown help to kill up to 99.9% of bacteria and viruses floating in the air that you and your family breathe at home, at work. It also removes dust and pet dander and smoke and a whole lot more from the air that you breathe, and it gets rid of any stinky odor. The Thunderstorm will help get rid of smelly smells, guaranteed odors from kitty litter boxes, trash cans, cigarette smoke, liberals, musty basements. No match for the Eden Pure Thunderstorm. And the smells disappear in a matter of seconds. Right now, you can save $200 American when you buy the Eden Pure Thunderstorm 3-pack for a whole home protection. You can put one in your basement, your teenager's room, your own bedroom, your kitchen, any place you like to breathe clean, fresh air. You can give them as gifts, too. All you have to do is go to EdenPureDeals.com and use the discount code CHRIS3, CHRIS, and the number 3 to save $200 American on 3 Thunderstorms. That's EdenPureDeals.com. The discount code is CHRIS3. And now the Doors. The Muslim guy in Australia, millions have been raised for him. The nice lady working at Target in California, hundreds of thousands raised for him. You know why? Because people are good. That's why.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Did you know that driving under the influence of marijuana is illegal? Driving high will get you a DUI. And if you're wondering if law enforcement can tell you're driving high, well, everyone else can. Friends?
I can tell you drove high.
Parents?
I can tell when you drive high.
Relatives?
I can tell. You drove here high, didn't you?
So what makes you think law enforcement can't?
I can tell.
If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels, or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu, the daytime coughing, aching, fever under your flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
The Mega Millions jackpot is getting mega huge. Head to your favorite New York Lottery retailer and grab a ticket today for your chance at a massive win. Currently over $200 million. Good luck, New York. Please play responsibly.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy Truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at widgetautosales.com.
Do you want free internet forever? Yeah, we thought so. That's why Spectrum is giving you just that. Free fiber-powered internet forever when you switch and get 4 mobile lines from Spectrum. No internet bills, no taxes, no late fees. Just fast fiber-powered internet. Call 833-901-0178 to find out how. But hurry, this deal won't last forever. Once more, 833-901-0178 or visit spectrum.com/free-forever to learn more.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
WMAL's Vince Colonnese, weekdays at noon on 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
All right, Michael, let us go immediately to the telephones and talk to the great people. Let's talk to Steve, calling from the small state of Connecticut. Stephen, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Hey, how you doing, Chris?
Hey, Steve, very well, thank you.
Besides the fact that I grew up in Providence and we named our daughter Providence and we'll never live there again, in that area, that neighborhood, our multi-million-dollar house is occupied by far-left liberal doctors, lawyers, who, if you stole a Kamala Harris sign off their front lawn in October, you'd have 500 photos sent to the police within 10 minutes. I'm not understanding where all the photos of this Portuguese national is.
Oh, that's interesting.
With, I'm sure, security footage, cameras outside. You couldn't walk a block from where the shooting happened without thousands of pictures being taken of you from people's Ring doorbells, security systems, and like I said, multi-million-dollar houses that are only occupied by really rich people from Rhode Island. I'm just not understanding where we only have one picture of the suspected shooter.
What do you think the problem is there?
Like you said multiple times, the leadership, and this is another reason why my wife and I, when we go up there to explore Providence and walk around like we did Saturday, right near the shooting, we always say to ourselves, we will never live here again.
Hang in before shooting. If you can hang in for a minute, I'd like to talk to you more.
This is the Chris Plant Show.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station.
Making sense of the news.
News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 10:30. Good morning. I'm John Matthews. The suspected shooter in last weekend's mass shooting at Brown University and in the fatal shooting of a professor at MIT has been found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound in a New Hampshire storage facility. 48-year-old Claudio Valente was a former Brown student and Portuguese national. Vladimir Putin says Moscow's troops are advancing across the battlefield in Ukraine, and he's confident the Kremlin will achieve its goals militarily if Kyiv doesn't agree to Russia's conditions in peace talks. Putin declared Russia's forces have fully seized strategic initiative and would have more gains by the end of the year. Montgomery County Sherwood High School is closed today and will remain closed through the weekend after a second-floor sprinkler failed overnight and caused significant flooding, impacting at least a dozen classrooms on the first floor. Officials hope they'll be able to reopen the school in Sandy Spring by Monday. Traffic and weather next. This report is sponsored by Melwood. Donate your car at melwood.org. Support people with disabilities in your community by donating your unwanted vehicle to Melwood. Donating is fast, free, and easy. Visit melwood.org or call 1-877-MELWOOD for more information.
Problems on the Beltway in Virginia on the outer loop southbound after 236 Little River Turnpike before Braddock Road. All lanes are blocked right now southbound on the outer loop because of an accident and delays down from Gallows Road. On the inner loop before Braddock Road, in the express lanes, only the left shoulder is getting by. In the main lanes on the inner loop before Braddock Road, the left lane is closed with the accident activity. In delays up from the Springfield interchange. Inner loop in Montgomery County, there was an accident after 355 before Connecticut Avenue. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
The winds rise and the temperatures fall through the 40s this afternoon. It is 55 at Reagan National. John Matthews, News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, season, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels, or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
Peace to the planet, Charlamagne the God here. Getting real about your mental health journey means connecting with real people. Call, text, or chat 988 if you're having tough thoughts, substance use issues, stress at home or at work. They can even talk to you through worries you're having about somebody you love. 988 counselors are ready to hear from you 24/7. No cost, no judgment, no stigma. It's also private. Asking for help is the strongest thing that you can do. Just connect with 988, a message from the New York State Office of Mental Health.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy Truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, the used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at widgetautosales.com.
Spectrum TV Fixed TV and combine all your favorite sports streaming apps with live TV.
32, Blue 32. Hi. It's only more Hail Marys.
It's only more bottom of the ninth magic.
It's only more slow motion replays.
It's only getting all the sports with over 100 hours worth of streaming apps like ESPN, Fox One, Tennis Channel, Peacock, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com.
Yes, it's me again. Blueprint. Woo! Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow. It's the time for empowerment, and I've got a message for you. You gotta think about sexual health, no matter what, and where, with who. Yeah. To all you lovers out there, ain't no judgment. This is your cue. It's time to talk about pre-exposure prophylaxis, a part of HIV prevention. Oh, so you talk to a healthcare provider and visit carefortheculture.com to learn more.
WMAL, making sense of social media, because big tech can't be trusted. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Oh, hey, we're back. Now we're back on this Friday. And still hanging on the line. He actually had to call back in. He's not still hanging. I don't want to be accurate. because Steve was disconnected, I think, by the National Security Agency, but he called back in, and that makes us very happy. So, Steve, thank you for hanging on there. Steve calling in from Connecticut, and Steve was just telling me about Providence, Rhode Island, because Steve grew up. Now, Steve, you said you grew up in Rhode Island. In fact, you grew up in Providence, Rhode Island, and you and your wife, who is a woman and you're a man, you have a daughter, which is natural, and you named your daughter Providence.
Yes, I mean, for more than just the city, which we love, and we still go up there. We were there Saturday. We took a train. We were going to take a bus to either Brown University area, because it is a nice area to walk, or to another place, and we decided to do another place just before the shooting started. But every time we go up there, and she's from Rhode Island as well, and we say to ourselves, if I was wearing my military anything or a flag or anything, I would get dirty looks.
Wow.
And especially the closer you get to Brown University, and when you say, why do you think that is? Why do you think that? All the things you talk about, if you set up shop on Blackstone Boulevard on Thayer Street, all the things you talked about, you would see, and it's magnified because it's such a small area. Like, wow. I would feel uncomfortable if I had to engage someone in that area.
Wow. Wow.
So yeah, and they're all the same mindset. You'll never see, God forbid, you'd never see a Trump sticker or placard in that area. So is that tied to it? I don't know.
Right. Right. We don't know. And the police, I've been very unimpressed with the police in Providence and in the state of Rhode Island. And their press conferences have been an embarrassment. And who's the guy, the attorney general of the state that was at the press conference, who's stepping on people and jumping, and it's, I'll answer this question. And that guy, my best girl and I last night were mocking him and rewinding him to literally to laugh at his phony answers, his lame answers. And I was embarrassed for them. We were both embarrassed for them. And then the president of the university, she came out and again took half a question, didn't answer it, and then stormed out of the room. And everybody acted like that's what they expected, like that's normal or something.
Well, you have to remember that the best of the best to come out of Rhode Island is Gina Raimondo.
Huh.
So there you go. The last functional mayor was Buddy Cianci, who was a mob boss.
Yeah, and he went to prison.
If he ran for election today, he would win. And he's passed away. So, I mean, that DEI thing you talk about.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Like I said, you could set up shop and you'd have enough material to last you for 10 years.
Yeah, and Buddy Cianci, you're right. He was the mayor, and he was a very popular mayor, and he was a real character, and people really liked him as a personality, as a character. And he was, according to all reports, a lot of that going on in Rhode Island, a mob boss, and he ended up he got sent to the penitentiary for all kinds of corruption, right?
Yeah. Well, his autobiography, he told about how he tortured his wife's lover. He talked about it openly. Well, yeah, you couldn't get in that position at that time unless you were either connected or the head or something.
Well, who would not
all the bosses?
Who would not torture their wife's lover?
Of course.
I mean, come on.
And get away with it and get elected mayor. Yeah. But so when you see people on TV and you mock them, that's my everyday, or it was. And sometimes I listen into the local radio station and hear these people every day. The COVID, someone came on from around every day to talk about COVID, and you would, mind-boggling.
No.
Like everybody in Rhode Island who had a brain would mock them. Yeah.
And it sounds like it's a short line. But you mentioned, you said if you walked around in your military uniform, are you active duty right now?
No.
All right, so you're prior military.
Yes.
Okay, but you're convinced that if you walked around near Brown University or even in downtown Providence that you would not be warmly received. Nobody would say thank you or salute you. They give you dirty looks and scowls because they're all lefty, liberal, academic types, and they're a gang of wankers.
Yep. Yeah, and I went to a conference in Kansas City last year, and one person, the first person who did say, "Oh, thank you," I was taken aback because I don't ever hear it. I don't ever hear it.
In KC Mo, Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah. And then, yep. So if I go west of the mountains here in Pennsylvania, I start to hear things like that. East of that, no, I don't hear anything like that.
And that's why the Democrats say that the state of Pennsylvania, every election year, they say they call it Pencil-tucky, right? They say you got Philadelphia and a little bit of Pittsburgh, and the rest of it they say is Kentucky. They call it Pencil-tucky, which is their way of expressing disdain and contempt for people in Pennsylvania that might have an American flag in front of their house, might be on our side. I mean, really, the Democrat Party has become a treacherous, treasonous, traitorous, anti-American, anti-capitalist, anti-Semitic party, and they want to sever the genitals of children everywhere and put them in mayonnaise jars.
Yes, accept everyone except if you don't agree with me is the mentality. In at least the city, definitely the city, because Connecticut surprisingly has pockets of rural areas that there are definitely Trump flags, and there are definitely people who think normally, but no, not in the city. I won't even walk around New York City anymore. I used to do that on a regular basis, but Providence is on the same par.
I got to tell you that the country, we're in the midst of a great schism, and it's the left all the way. The left took over the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party had already secured information dominance in the media, and that's the news media and the entertainment media. They have secured dominance in academia, and keeping in mind that the first draft of history is written by the journalists, the fourth estate. The second draft of history is written by academia and the publishing houses, and their entire program is fundamentally anti-American, and it's a terribly disturbing thing. And where we go as a nature and as a nation and as a culture from here, I just don't know. I really don't know, Steve.
And Brown, people talk about Harvard a lot, but Brown, I think, is definitely the birthplace of this movement, the taking over of the academia. I believe started at Brown.
No kidding.
For sure.
Wow. Wow. Well, Stephen, I'm glad that you called in. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I like KC Mo myself, Kansas City, Missouri. I lived in Kansas City, Missouri for about a half a year. And then the woman who would eventually become my ex-wife lost her mind. And then that's when I moved to Washington, D.C. And everything's been working out pretty well since then. Stephen, thank you, buddy. I'm saluting you. Smart snap salute. That is great. Thank you, Steve. The Democrats. Yeah, and I went and I looked while Steve was talking earlier. I went to real estate to the Zillow people in Providence, Rhode Island. And here's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and Steve mentioned Exchange Street. And the address is 1 West Exchange Street. A 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo under 1,500 square feet is $999,900. So you just round it to $1 million. It's only a $100 difference, but there's $999,900 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. That's 1,480 square feet. And, the Democrats, they just make everything better. How do they do it? I do not know. Isn't that amazing? All right, let me get to, let's look at the clock. And let's go to some audio here. Brown University. I should start at soundbite number 1, shouldn't I? Because that's the first one. Rhode Island State Police Superintendent Darnell Weaver. And he came out and he was very defensive. It seemed to me that, and he looked squared away. He looked like a square-jawed, kind of a sturdy guy, state police. And I kept thinking about, what's the name of that movie, the Rhode Island State Police, and, Jim Carrey. Yeah, Me, Myself, and Irene. Yeah, he's a motorcycle. He had the same uniform on. He had the same, the superintendent of the state police, Darnell Weaver. He had the same Me, Myself, and Irene, with the Smokey Bear hat and all that stuff. And I look at that guy and said, look, it's Me, Myself, and Irene. It's let's call in the sons. Let's call in the 3 sons. That's great stuff. But here's the Rhode Island State Police Superintendent. That's like being the chief, Darnell Weaver. And he's like, you guys have been mean to us on social media and stuff. I can't believe the stuff you've been saying about us just because we haven't caught this guy that shut the place up. And we have, a $7.5 billion endowment at Brown University and 800 cameras, but not one of them captured the killer walking in and out. We had to depend on a homeless man living in the basement of the same building to lead us to the killer. It was that was that movie in Washington D.C. that was Cher and Dennis Quaid, where he was a homeless guy and was accused of murder, but a senator did it. That's another story for another day. Rhode Island State Police Superintendent Darnell Weaver at the big press conference last night.
Criminal investigations are grounded in evidence.
That's
speculation
That's
or
true.
online commentary.
Online.
The endless barrage of misinformation, disinformation, rumors, leaks, and clickbait were not helpful in this investigation.
Rumors.
Distractions and unfounded criticisms do not support this work.
Democrat
they complicate it and threaten to undermine the justice we seek for the victims and the grieving families.
Yeah, well, and for the grieving police superintendent, too. But he was really grumpy. He was moody. And he was like, oh, people putting stuff online that's not true? What next? Gosh, I hadn't seen that before. Brown University has a president, Christina Paxson. Christina Paxson is paid more than $3.1 million a year, and she has no idea what's going on the campus. With security, with lunatics wandering around, with homeless people living in the basements of buildings. This woman, she's been dazzlingly unimpressive. And she was at the press conference last night, too.
Now, we know the public and our own Brown community members will want to know more about the individual now identified by law enforcement as the suspect in last weekend's shooting.
Racist.
And we can confirm the following to the best of our knowledge. Claudia Manuel Neves Valente was enrolled at Brown from the fall of 2000 to the spring of 2001.
The student there.
He was admitted to Brown's graduate school to study in the Masters of Science PhD program in physics, beginning on September 1st, 2000.
And beginning on September 1st, 2000. That's 25 years ago. It's that's a long time ago. And he came in on a student visa, and then he dropped out of that in 2000, and then he dropped out of his student work in 2001. And if I'm not mistaken, that's about 24 years ago. And he's still in the country because we're so generous with our idiot visas. And this reminds me of Ted Kaczynski. Who's Ted Kaczynski? The Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski. And he was a radical environmentalist, and he sent bombs to people in Bluma. He was working on his PhD because academia is a good safe haven for crazy people and mental people. And Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, he's got a lot in common with this killer with four names who came to us from Portugal, which means he's Portuguese. And the MIT professor that he killed, he murdered in his home, apparently his family in the building when he was murdered, and his wife and kids, because the psychopath from Portugal. But the MIT professor, reportedly also Portuguese, and they attended the same school at the same time in Lisbon, which is in Portugal, the last plane out of Casablanca for Lisbon. But this, academia and Democrats and leftists and liberals and the media, we're going to have to remake our country because the Democrats have self-immolated the entire country for us. Isn't that? They're just nuts. Completely crazy. I've got more. I've got an FBI special agent coming up for you about the MIT situation, and then a couple of Q's and a couple of A's at the press conference. That'll be questions and answers for Democrats trying to follow along at home or in their cars, for that matter. Aren't they amazing? Just awful. From effortlessly hosting holiday parties to giving unforgettable gifts, Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience. Right now, you can shop this season, this Christmas season, this Hanukkah season, the top gourmet gifts at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners, that's you get another $35 off with the code PLANT at checkout. That's Plante. There's an E on the end. Nobody knows why. My best girl and I, we love the filet mignons that we get, the bacon-wrapped fillets from Omaha Steaks. We cook them up in my grandfather's 75-year-old iron skillet. Makes them beautiful. Give someone that you love the gift of steak this Christmas, because right now is the perfect time to save on the delicious gifts and holiday hosting favorites. Every steak is perfectly aged to maximize tenderness and flavor, and then hand-cut by master butchers in America's heartland. Right now, you save big on gourmet gifts, and for yourself, too, with more holiday favorites with Omaha Steaks. All you have to do is visit omahasteaks.com, right there on Al Gore's amazing internet, peace be upon him. And for an extra $35 off, because we hang out together, you use the code PLANT at checkout. Some terms apply. See the site for details. That's omahasteaks.com. The promo code is PLANT. Isn't it wonderful? Yes, sir. Yeah, I've got lots more. I've only got an hour and 9 minutes left. I'm going to have to start packing it in. So much going on. And Christmas is coming. But we're inside of 1 week. All right? It's the 19th of December. If I remember correctly, Christmas is still on the 25th, isn't it? And you see what President Trump did for government employees for Christmas? That's coming up.
You're listening to The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels, or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
Peace to the planet, Charlemagne the God here. Getting real about your mental health journey means connecting with real people. Call, text, or chat 988 if you're having tough thoughts, substance use issues, stress at home or at work. They can even talk to you through worries you're having about somebody you love. 988 counselors are ready to hear from you 24/7. No cost, no judgment, no stigma. It's also private. Asking for help is the strongest thing that you can do. Just connect with 988, a message from the New York State Office of Mental Health.
Do you want free internet forever? Yeah, we thought so. That's why Spectrum is giving you just that. Free fiber-powered internet forever when you switch and get 4 mobile lines from Spectrum. No internet bills, no taxes, no late fees. Just fast fiber-powered internet. Call 833-901-0178 to find out how. But hurry, this deal won't last forever. Once more, 833-901-0178. Or visit spectrum.com/freeforever to learn more.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy Truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at widgetautosales.com.
It's the gaming event of the year, featuring T-Pain's Nappy Boy Grizzlies versus Neo's Gentleman's Gaming. It's a 4v4 matchup featuring Call of Duty, Tetris, Trackmania, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3+4, and Tekken 8. Season 0 of the Global Gaming League is live streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Head over to globalgamingleague.com.
If you or a loved one have missing or damaged teeth or suffer from severe gum disease, then you need to know about Cascades One Dental, where they have created Arch One, a full arch dental implant system designed to give you a beautiful looking real smile. Arch One is an innovative all-in-one approach to full mouth dental implants with life-changing results, designed around the power of one doctor, one office, one price. And that means you will receive continuous care from one doctor in one location with one all-inclusive cost, performed by renowned doctors located in Northern Virginia at Cascades One's state-of-the-art facility, using advanced technology to give you new teeth in just one day. Dr. R and the Arch One team have completed thousands of successful Arch One full arch implant procedures. Discover the power of a beautiful smile and begin your Arch One transformation today. Financing options are available. To schedule your consultation, call 844-ARCH-1 or visit arch1implants.com.
Protect your retirement from higher taxes and optimize your assets. The prior administration's overspending will cause more taxes on your retirement savings the longer you wait. You deserve a written retirement and tax plan. Learn how you can have tax elimination, wealth maximization, and legacy preservation from wealth strategist and best-selling author Chuck Oliver of The Hidden Wealth Solution. Learn solutions that save thousands in unnecessary taxes while earning higher returns with less risk. Go to retirementprotected.com. That's retirementprotected.com.
WMAL, making sense of mainstream media because the double standard is real. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Now, this is pretty hilarious. President Trump renamed the Kennedy Center yesterday the Trump Kennedy Center. Well, the board at the Kennedy Center did, but he put every board member in place. And get a load of this. And that's funny, and everybody's going crazy, but Trump he ordered a set aside for Christmas Eve and December 26th as federal holidays. So it's not just Christmas Day, the 25th, but now Christmas Eve, the 24th. And just for good measure, let's throw in the 26th as federal holidays. They're not national holidays, but they are federal holidays. President Trump issued an executive order Thursday declaring Christmas Eve, that's the day before Christmas, the 25th, and December 26th, the day after Christmas, as federal holidays this year. The order will result in federal agencies being closed and employees excused from duty next Wednesday through Friday. As Christmas Day is already a federal holiday, Trump noted, though, that the agency heads may determine that certain offices and installations of their organizations or parts thereof must remain open, and that certain employees must report for duty on December 24th and December 26th. But, of course, as usual, not Christmas Day itself, because we're a Christian society. You know how that goes. Culture, a country. During his first term, the president designated Christmas Eve as a federal holiday in 2019 and 2020. In those years, December 24th fell on a Tuesday and Thursday, respectively. Former President Obama did the same thing for December 26th in 2014, but then he stole your children and sold them on the open market. So that was a little bit different. Little different. Yes, sir. And he changed the name of the 26th to Trump Day. All right, he didn't really. I just made that part up. I did, but we've got more. We've got more coming up for you. Out of Rhode Island and the capture of the lunatic and more. Christmas is coming.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station.
Making sense of the news.
News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 11. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Matthews. Police finally identified and found the suspect in the deadly shooting at Brown University thanks to a tip.
The investigators say that this case was broken wide open by a homeless man who goes by.
Hey, Justin explains everything. You think everybody is in these chats? Not everybody hates me. I have friends and family. Just because people like you on the internet, you don't like me, big fucking deal. All right. Bottom line is Rusty's wrong. All right. Yeah, she's wrong. She's trying to put the onus on me that I'm a spammer. Wanting me to fucking quit spamming Vegas chat. I go in there, I use one handle, one account at the time. I'm not even using multiple devices. Meanwhile, everybody else is spamming. She spams fucking what she does with Hey Girl and all them, right? Sitting there watching them fight. That's spam what they do. I don't like being told shut up. So why don't you come on up here, Justin, and explain it since you explain everything. Come up here and explain who hates me. Do you know everybody, Justin? Justin explains everything. Click on my link. Come on up. Yeah. Yeah, I think it would fun people hearing your voice because you sound just like Al Franken. You're welcome to come up. Right? Everybody hates you. Everybody, I hear you guys. It's like Wiggin, When anybody says that, it means they don't know anything. You don't hear me saying that when I make a statement. I say something, They're afraid to face me up here, Justin. You think I give a fuck if Wiggin doesn't like me? Or Rusty or Gotti? I got the truth from Gotti this morning. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with him and Rocky. So I kind of was wondering what's going on there because and they don't really come in the chat too much because of their drama, not their drama, but Logical and DA and Rusty's right behind it. And now you got CB and I watched your chat this morning, Zenny. I didn't post. CB is a fucking moron. So that's Wolfie's chat, huh? That you said Gotti's the one that paid for it. Lying fucking bitch. Let's get this out on the table. You don't see me attacking Zenny. It's the same shit. And you got Vader and Will Durant doing their shit. Are you going to come up? Here, I'll copy it again in case there's a glitch, okay? I'll copy it again. Justin, you want to come up and explain how everybody hates Billy? You're welcome to come up and do it. Tell me who they are. Maybe I can get them not to hate me. You're wrong, Rusty. I'm not a spammer. Have you ever porn bombed anybody?
I don't know how.
All you gotta do is put a picture up. It's not hard to do. All you need is a picture of a cock or some shit.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
So why would you say to me that everybody hates me?
No, Billy. Okay.
Why would you say that?
Okay, you want me to explain why I said that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna explain.
I'm waiting. What are you doing? All right, we'll just kick it in. I'll turn the news back on.
Partially reopened there, but still extremely slow down from Route 50. Interloop northbound before Braddock Road. The accident still blocks the left lane of the express lanes at the scene of that incident on the Interloop.
Maybe later, Justin.
Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Like I say, you think I care if Patrick New York doesn't like me? I knew what he was doing.
Very windy A wind alert in effect from noon until 7 p.m. We're dry for the weekend. A little colder tomorrow in the mid-40s.
You guys are lucky I don't take better notes. Actually write shit down.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Wiegand doesn't have the balls to go live when I go live and do a stream with me and have an actual conversation. All he wants to do is go live and fucking run his suck fuck about Billy. That's all you do.
The video of that subject matched the description of that person of interest that this police department was desperate to put handcuffs on. He was a Brown student.
Sorry, Justin. News is back on.
And his last name, known address was in Miami, Florida. And I will tell you that he took his own life tonight.
Well, if you can't believe Providence Police Chief Colonel Oscar Perez Jr., whose word can you take for these matters? Of course, you can't understand them all the time, so sometimes...
You can post it to side chat, though.
Police chiefs, major...
I want to hear this.
Cities. Nobody can understand him. I can understand Led Zeppelin. Yes, the police chief up there. This was his opportunity to shine. He didn't. He did, boy. No, he didn't. Not at all. Turns out a homeless man named John. They don't want to give away last names or anything like that, but a homeless man named John who's living in the basement of the building where the mass shooting took place, right there on the campus. The homeless man living in the building, the psycho killer from Portugal who went to school there more than 20 years ago, he's wandering around, and the homeless person is the only one keeping tabs on him. And the homeless guy named John allegedly, reportedly went to Reddit. Reddit is a site online. It's and people can go and post things. But Reddit comment led to a breakthrough in the Brown shooting investigation. And then it turns out that the same guy went and shot the MIT professor at his home. And, no big deal, right? Now, what he wrote, what John, the homeless man, wrote, and the police last night, they're saying, he's very, and it was at the Attorney General of the state, I think. And he didn't call him the homeless man. He said their source, their secret source. He's very articulate. And, of course, I'm doing jokes at him about, is he bright and clean? Is he articulate and bright and clean like Barack Obama? As described by Joseph Robinette Biden. But here is the homeless man, who's not really homeless. He just lives in the basement of a building on the campus of Brown University, an Ivy League institution. And you think that the president of the Paxson of the university, with her $3.1 million a year salary, do you think she knows that there's a homeless man living in the basement of the building? But here's what the homeless man wrote, who we're told is articulate. That's what I said last night. He's articulate. That's okay. Here's what he wrote on Reddit. He's got access to the internet, so he's probably got a smartphone. He's sitting down there plugged in the basement of the building. He said, here's what the homeless guy, John, wrote. He wrote on Reddit, I'm being dead serious. The police need to look into a gray Nissan with Florida plates, probably a rental. He knows it's probably a rental. So he's an unusual homeless person, I guess. That was the car he was driving, is what he wrote. It was parked in front of the little shack behind the Rhode Island Historical Society on the Cook Street side. I know because he used his key fob to open the car. He saw him watching him use the key fob to open the car. Approached it, and then something prompted him to back away. When he backed away, he relocked the car. I found that odd. So when he circled the block, I approached the car, and that's when I saw the Florida plates. This guy's he's Magnum PI over here. He's a detective.
Panel's closed right now, guys. Use the side chat.
The gate of the RH.
You're not coming up, Alpesh, and neither are you, Justin. Sorry. You can sit there. I'm not letting you up.
It's the corner of Cook and St. George. So this guy, the homeless guy, why is there a homeless guy living in the basement?
I said I'm never coming back to your chat, Alpesh. I'll never be in your chat again. And I'm never going into Vegas. I might watch just to see what's going on. I'm not going to comment.
Apparently the homeless man had actually
So
spoken to.
I got this to do right here. I'm listening to the news.
From
Sorry,
people,
Alpesh, I'm not letting you up. Fuck
I had
you.
a conversation when the guy was kind of threatening and stuff, but
At least Justin's an American.
just nutty. And the guy, he goes on Reddit, and there he is on Reddit. Isn't that amazing? Mm-mm-mm. So the New York Times is on it too, because they stole from Reddit, and they said, "Oh, well, look, we've done reporting or something." Said, "Good morning. The search for the Brown University shooter is over. Last night, the police."
All right, we know that news. All right, go ahead.
Oh, Billy, you there? Hey, hello.
You didn't just hear me say go ahead?
Well, no, dude, I was literally taking a puff of my joint. Anyways, no, I was just saying, dude. What I meant was
Don't call
everybody
me
hates
dude
you
again.
because they're
Call me
jerks.
dude one more. The name is Billy or Hayden. Do not
Okay.
call me dude.
I will never call you dude ever again.
Don't call me dude.
Never.
If we become friends and I fucking like you as a friend, that's different. But you don't know me other than what you see here. And for you to come into my chat and the first thing you say, "Oh, nobody likes you, Billy." Yeah, them's fighting words. You know that, right?
Okay, that's right.
Oh,
that is true.
Okay. So go ahead. Explain to me who should I be concerned about hating me?
Okay, no.
Why?
The reason why I said that was I literally was being super, super lax and sarcastic about how on YouTube, how everybody always bashes you and hates you. And I said, everybody hates you, not literally, but figuratively. Everybody hates you because, like, oh, people, you know what I mean? People always hate on you. That's all I meant. That's what I meant. I didn't mean it like I'm joining them and I'm attacking you. I meant everybody hates you as in figurative.
JC's minions is who you mean, right?
Yes, that's what I meant.
All the CNN moderators, right? Every single fucking one of them.
Yes, that's what I meant when I said everybody hates Billy. Figurative.
Oh,
Figurative.
They really hate me. They really hate me this morning. You know why?
Why? Why is that?
I went up on Psych's chat. You know who Psych Awakens Tarot is?
Who?
Do you know who Psych is? You don't know who Psych is?
Wait, Psych.
Psych Awakens Tarot. Yeah, it's a YouTube channel a guy has.
I gotta be totally honest. Like, I bounce in and out. I used to come online all the time. Now I'm, coming back. You know me, dude. No, I'm sorry. Wait, not dude. I'm sorry. You know me, Billy. I'm not gonna say dude. But you know me. I'm the Al Franken voice. The Al Franken voice. But yeah. Yeah.
Oh, shut up, Sinman. You guys are just fucking ignorant motherfuckers. You know that? You really are. Hey, Sinman, I don't even know who you are. Who the fuck are you? Why don't you put a picture and a fucking name on that? Why don't you come as you? At least Justin will come. I know his voice. I've heard him before. I've seen him.
I'm Al Franken.
You sound just like him. And people who watch me and clip me and that, they're gonna take your voice and you sound just like Al Franken.
I know people's gonna give me hell. People's gonna probably give me hell.
I probably got a few people to say it about you long ago.
Hey, do I really sound like Al Franken?
So you spend all your time where? Over at Captain Spaulding's chat?
I don't even know who that is. I'm being honest. I don't know who.
No, you're not being. You're right. I do know you. You lie like them motherfuckers do.
No, dude. I don't know who. Honestly, I don't come online.
Hey, dude. You're dealing with the best. You know that, right? You see how upset they all are. I went up on Sykes' chat. I drove both LD and Gotti off his fucking panel.
Well, no, Billy. Wait, let me be
They're
honest
doing the
about
same
something.
shit to that guy. They do the same shit to Psych. They run around. They play their little grab ass games. They're nice to you 1 minute, and then they're fucking talking shit about you the next. So they can, especially logical. Are you in Vegas? Do you watch
Wait.
Vegas? Do you watch Vegas?
Yes, I do.
All
Yes.
right. Do you?
Okay, wait.
Who do you have on your block list?
I don't even block people. Okay.
You don't block. So you see all of logical spam using my name.
I don't know because I don't come on. Billy, wait.
I'm not. I can't do this with you. Okay, I can't because you're not honest. I'm not going to do this.
No, I am.
You're not honest. You're in Vegas. If you don't have anybody blocked, you see them fuckers spamming. You got to see logical doing it. Bye. I'm going back to the news. Okay, you can kick yourself off.
Wait. Let me explain myself.
No, come back later. I'm not going to deal with this with you right now because you're not being honest with me.
No, I'm trying to be honest. Let me explain.
No, then okay, I'll just do it the hard way then. Asked you nicely. I'm not fucking bullshitting. I don't want to hear somebody tell me, "Oh, don't take it personal," when they make it personal all the time. I'm not the one who's fucking spamming Vegas. You can't blame me now because I'm not going to post there. Everyone owns Vegas. Fuck you.
Physics building down here, all the shooting, all the killing. There must be some connection, right?
It is believed that in Lisbon that those two individuals attended the same university in Portugal.
It is believed that the killer from Brown University and the professor killed, the MIT professor killed in his own home, they were together in Lisbon at the same university at the same time. That can't be a random coincidence, right? But what we just played, that was Ted Dox again, FBI Special Agent in charge. But the thing is, 3 days ago, so yesterday they were holding this press conference, and yesterday you could say, well, day before yesterday, Special Agent in charge, Ted Dox, you told us that there was no reason to believe there was any connection between Brown University mass shooting and the MIT murder.
So this happened Saturday night, and then last night we have an MIT professor. What we see on this video seemingly is someone very cautious, almost like a professional, kind of like the DC pipe bomber that is circling several times. What information do you have that MIT Jewish professor in Brookline was basically executed? Do you have any intelligence how that person was operating now? You know, it's interesting. The Colonel Noble reached out to me very early. Their lead on that particular incident. He makes sure that if there's any intelligence, any information in which is connected to what we have here, that they would share that. At this time, there seems to be no connection as it relates to that particular incident.
Yeah, seems to be no. At this point, there seems to be no connection. We're going to need Sherlock Holmes. We're going to need, I don't know, get Rockford files in here because somebody's got to start cracking stuff around here. Just nuts. All right, just crazy. I am telling you. Then the Pifit Chalice there, who goes by Colonel Perez Jr. And Colonel Perez Jr., who's the Pifit Chalice, he was asked, I got a lot of questions for him. He wasn't answering any of them, of course. So why do you take the citizen, you're just some random person out there, it turns out it's the homeless guy we're talking about, to not a suspicious person right there at the college? You got campus police, you got police in Providence, you got professors and students, but you're depending on a homeless guy dwelling in the basement of a building on campus to actually crack the case for you. It went like this.
Why did it take a citizen to notice a suspicious person right next to Brown University and not the police? And also, how long was the vehicle parked where it was? And was it days, hours?
It appeared to be days as far as the evidence. Why would a civilian observe that to be suspicious? It's a great point. And I like the fact that you're bringing it up. That's what we should all be doing, right? And it's just personality. Some people are more interested in finding out what others are doing. In this particular case, this person decided that he wanted to, and I'm glad he did.
I'm sorry, what? Can you say that again, but this time in American? And do you speak American? Because I'd like to get some American. And was it? Yeah, I'm glad you asked the question because she gets in and this is the homeless guy who's somehow sneaked into the basement of one of the campus buildings, has been living there for who knows how long. And the homeless guy living in the basement used to be a student at the Ivy League institution, and the mad psycho killer used to be a student at the institution. And there's a homeless guy living in the basement, and the crazy Portuguese, he's wandering around looking for people to kill. And just don't send your kids to Brown University. If they go there now, be a good time to pull them out and ask for a refund. I think refund would be a good idea. Man, oh, Manischewitz, I am telling you. And the professor, MIT professor, murdered, as one of the questioners said, was Jewish. Now he's murdered. So I don't know how that scores. Man, yes, sir. This Christmas, coming up fast as we all celebrate life, you and I and all of us, we have an opportunity to share that same gift of life with a mother and her unborn baby. Just think for a moment about a young woman facing an unplanned pregnancy, young pregnant woman unsure of what to do, traumatized by the experience. She's searching for hope and to make sense of it all. And that's where preborn ministries come in. There's a biblical story you may be familiar with about an older woman named Sarah who was barren, couldn't have kids, deeply distressed because of that fact. And then the most unexpected way, when Sarah was 90 years old and her husband Abraham was 100 years old, God moved and she gave birth to her son Isaac. You know, every mother that preborn serves faces a moment of decision when she sees her baby flailing about in an ultrasound, looking at the baby living inside of her. And in that moment, she has the opportunity to say yes and to choose life. Preborn's mission is to help that young woman find the courage and the support to do exactly that. This Christmas, for just $28, you can help save a human life. And thanks to a special matching grant through the end of the year, your gift will actually be doubled, no matter how much.
I'm done, Justin.
To donate, just dial pound 250 and say the keyword baby when prompted. That's pound 250. The keyword is baby. Or you can go to Al Gore's amazing internet to preborn.com/plant. That's preborn.com/plant. A great Christmas thing.
I heard you on other people's panels, Justin.
Yeah, the bungled Brown University
especially JC's
manhunt finally solved because of a homeless man living in the building where the mass shooting took place. This is like a bad Hollywood movie. I think I'll have Dennis Quaid be the homeless man.
We had 2 feet of snow and it's gone.
The Chris Plant Show.
It fucking warmed up, rained, and the fucking there's a few snowbanks and that's it. So I'm gonna end this stream and I'll be back later. I have things to do. I'm dressed. I'm going somewhere again. See you later, Justin. Panel's closed. I'm leaving. Maybe later. Tell you what, you sit right there, Justin.
Clicking your heels 3 times at Northern Credit Union.